Hello friends, I'm Sarabjit and now I'll be talking about validating the value proposition. Before we go ahead, let us see what makes a good value proposition. The first thing is clarity. The value proposition should be easy to understand. And the value proposition should communicate specific results the customers will get from the value proposition. And the value proposition must explain how it's different and better than what other people are offering. And a good value proposition is so precise and crisp that it can be read and understood in just 5 seconds. When we validate the value proposition, we look at the first step of identifying the value proposition and use this step to create a new prototype. Then we validate the value proposition through focus groups, the co-founders themselves, and customers and advisors and angel investors included. Now, the marketplace is huge, but there are many people competing for space. And these people, when they are startups who follow the same model and approach as you do, then whoever gives the best fit will win. Please keep this in mind. So we need to build products that people want. Products include services, of course. The first thing to do is to create a lean startup in the validation phase, where at the end we'll be creating a minimum viable product. The value proposition and the lean startup, they go together. And the first step is creating ideas and building the value proposition. First, you fill out the canvas with all that you have done earlier, if in customer segment and the value proposition segment. And then you measure. Now, what do we mean by measure? We test the customer expectations first, customers' assumptions. What's your biggest headache? We ask the customer, and we see whether we have covered these headaches in both the customer niche market segment and in the value proposition area. Then we adjust the assumptions. When we adjust the assumptions, what we are really doing is that we are refining and focusing on the real vital aspects of the business, and trivials, if any, are removed. Again, we go back to build and then again measure. Okay? Then this is what we call redesigning your canvas. So now you have got 4 main panes here. And based on these panes, we see that the 2 value propositions, as earlier put, have been removed. So we are focusing on 4 key propositions. 4 panes, 4 key propositions. It could have been 5 or 3. Then we create this revised business model canvas. And these things are put into the broader business model canvas. We have the customer niche market as shown here in the customer segments. And then we have a special value proposition as created through the model that we are using, which is value proposition design. Now, how do we go from idea to innovation? I will be covering this now separately because everywhere we need to use innovation. And so I thought that before I end, I must show how we employ innovation. Innovation has to be applied everywhere. And innovation is new or renewed method, process, business model, product, and so on that we have to use. It has to be totally new or renewed. We cannot use existing methods. These are validated to create new value compared to previous solutions that others have offered. Even if somebody has offered a solution 2 months back, we have to improve on it through our own innovations. And what new value, to whom, and how it is being generated. We have to look at this. So what new value are we offering, to whom we are offering, and how this is going to be generated to add more and more value to the end customer in the niche market. This is innovation. Now, when looking at innovations, we look at combining one or many elements between, say, the technology, business model, process, and positioning towards categories. Categories are three: iterative, lateral, and disruptive. So, for instance, what does technology do? It goes into the lateral field. So, technology is used laterally, right across, not in the depth, but across in width. Technology. Then the business model is iterative. Iterative means when we make a business model, we keep doing iterations again and again till we refine it and make it as good as possible, keeping only the real essentials and removing the trivials. Now, the process that we have got, that is also lateral. We create a new innovative process and apply it laterally across the organization. And then we have positioning. Positioning is disruptive. Means that the positioning we create for our startup is totally different and new to the world compared to what other people are offering. Now, a very important aspect is team validation. Unless the team is great, you're not going to get innovation and you're not going to get a great startup which will do something for the world that nobody else has done. So how do we validate a team? So we cannot create a great startup as a solo entrepreneur. We need a good team. To start with, 2 or 3 people. And when we go to 8 or 10 people by the end of the minimum viable product creation phase. Then we need balanced skills. And we need totally committed team, and everybody should have a doer attitude and the right culture. That's the type of team we need. Now, how do we identify the value proposition? I'm saying this again and again. A great value proposition is a balance between the customer's job requirements, pains, and gains, what he needs, and what we offer him as the value proposition, which I put here as value. Value proposition gives value. Value means the kind of products and services you give, the pain relievers, and the gain creators. So thank you, gentlemen and ladies. See you again next time. Bye for now.